Last week, a few of my Republican colleagues introduced their counterproposal to President Biden's American Jobs Plan. The senior senator from Mississippi called the proposal, quote, a good faith effort. He wishes to engage with Democrats on an issue that touches every community in America on a subject we all know, infrastructure. I think I speak for the entire Democratic caucus in welcoming this effort from our friends across the aisle. As I mentioned earlier, when it came to the American Rescue Plan for vaccines and vaccinations and cash support for families and help for small businesses and schools, not a single Republican would join us. It's time for us to come together and work on a bipartisan basis. Maybe this is a start. After all, infrastructure is what should unite us. Whether you live in Laurel, Mississippi, or Lakeview section of Chicago, our roads, bridges, our fiber optic networks keep us connected and keep us moving. And as we emerge from this pandemic, it's clear that Americans are ready to get to work, building a stronger country, a healthier country, and a more prosperous country. Sadly, though, the proposal from our Republican friends really fails to meet the once-in-a-generation opportunity test to transform America and make America a winner in the 21st century. At a time when millions of Americans lack access to reliable, efficient transportation, and millions more lack access to reliable, high-speed internet, we can't settle for just repaving old roads or filling potholes. We need to invest in this nation's future, put people back to work building a sustainable economic foundation for our children and grandchildren to grow and thrive. We need an infrastructure plan that is a blueprint for the world of tomorrow, not just a patchwork quilt focused on yesterday. And the way I see it, we're on the cusp of a world where America owns the clean energy economy, and exports our union-made electric trucks and cars across the globe, where workers can get to work easily by bus, train, or bike, and working parents don't have to worry about finding a safe and affordable place to leave their kids when they're working. A world where rather than reading about the Mesozoic era in an outdated textbook, a child can throw on a virtual reality headset in the home or classroom and watch in awe as a T-Rex swings its massive tail over their head. A world in which America makes and sells the new technologies of a sustainable economy to the world rather than buying them. That's a future powered by the infrastructure of tomorrow. Under the American Jobs Plan, it's a future made in America. But we need to start building it today, because if we don't, I guarantee you, somebody else will. My friends, take a look across the ocean. Do we really believe that China, for example, is skimping on investing in its future? Absolutely not. They're already using technologies like artificial intelligence to ease traffic congestion in cities. They are installing facial recognition systems on their streets to keep tabs on jaywalkers and, sadly, tabs on ethnic minorities like Uyghurs. That's the difference between us and China. In China, the Communist Party uses technology to broaden the scope of its surveillance state. In America, we have an opportunity to show the world that technology and innovation can actually strengthen democracy by giving people the freedom to work the way they want with universal broadband, to move around the way they want with new forms of transportation. The President's American Jobs Plan will give our kids an honest shot to thrive by eliminating lead pipes and service lines from our drinking water systems and making safe, affordable housing a reality for millions of working families. I can't help but acknowledge my colleague, Senator Tammy Duckworth, when it comes to clean water and new lead pipes and service lines for our drinking water systems. I'm proud of the initiative and leadership that she is showing, working with other members of the Senate to make this a reality. This is a unifying vision for the future. It's a model for global leadership. So let's not balk at the cost of making it a reality. This is not the time to think small. We're talking about a transformative undertaking, and that's part of what America has always been about. More than half a century ago, Republican President Dwight Eisenhower launched the Interstate Highway Program. It changed America. Today, the program's nearly 50,000 miles of expressway carry about 1/4 of all traffic in the United States. These roads connect our communities, have created communities, and serve as a bedrock for our economy. In today's numbers, if you tried to rebuild the interstate highway system, it would cost $500 billion, probably much more, to be honest. It's not a small sum, but boy, it's an investment that paid off. The program generated $6 in economic activity for every dollar spent to build those roads and highways. And the fact is today, we need to invest in order to build our future. When President Eisenhower launched the Interstate Highway Program, we didn't have e-commerce or same-day shipments. It was more than 10 years before Neil Armstrong stepped foot on the moon. Now each of us carries around a pocket-sized device with more than enough computing power to get him to the moon and back. The world has changed in many ways for the better. Today, it's not sufficient for an infrastructure plan to begin and end with bridges and roads. If we want to support a modern economy and sustain growth for generations to come, we need to invest in the infrastructure of tomorrow. This isn't to say that we have all the answers on this side of the aisle, but there is one answer we should all get behind. Go big, go bold. We can't penny pinch America into first place. And don't take it from me. Americans of all political stripes, Democrats, independents, and Republicans, support marshaling the resources of the federal government to go big and bold on infrastructure. They want us to not only repair our highways and bridges, but to rebuild our waterways and airports and make high-speed broadband internet available to everyone. Americans support a plan that puts us on track to have an American century in the 21st century. That's our plan, and victory is within our reach. There was an architect and designer in the city of Chicago in the transition from the 19th to the 20th century who helped design the Columbian Exposition, White City, and a lot of history was made with those decisions. His name was Daniel Burnham, and he was asked about planning something like the White City at the Columbian Exposition or the future of the city of Chicago. He had a quote that's you'll turn to almost every day if you follow what's going on in planning in Chicago. Here's what he said: "Make no little plans. They have no magic to stir men's blood," and I might add women. "They may have no magic to stir men's blood and probably will not themselves be realized." I think we understand that. As President Eisenhower gave America a vision of an interstate highway system, a connected nation, and a new America, we need to do the same. President Biden has challenged us to do it. We need to do it on a bipartisan basis. I look forward to working with my colleagues to make it a reality. Madam President, I yield the floor and suggest the absence of quorum.